Slight melting will make ice wet. What is more slippery? Wet ice. At dawn or dusk, or in rain or snow, when it's difficult for other drivers to see you, you should consider turning on your low beam headlights. Since air pressure increases with temperature increases, you should leave the tires alone since the air pressure will decrease when the tires cool off. Speed limits posted at freeway off-ramps may not be safe speeds for larger vehicles or heavily loaded vehicles. With the vehicle stopped, how do you test hydraulic brakes for a leak? Pump the brake pedal 3 times, then apply firm pressure and then hold for 5 seconds. When merging with traffic, you should look in your mirrors to make sure the gap in the traffic is large enough for your vehicle to enter. What are some steering defects to look for? Missing nuts, bolts, cotter keys, or other parts. The amount of space needed to cross or enter traffic is affected by the weight of the load. How many times more distance does it take to stop a vehicle when the speed is doubled? 4 times as much. It takes 4 times more distance to stop a vehicle when the speed is doubled. What are 2 factors for knowing when to shift? Using engine speed and road speed. If you have to stop your vehicle in the road to load cargo or passengers, you should flash your brake lights to warn drivers behind you. Why do empty trucks usually require greater stopping distances? Empty trucks can bounce and lock their wheels. What is the only way to stop a front wheel skid? Let the vehicle slow down, stop turning, and stop braking so hard. What's important about the center of gravity for a load? A high center of gravity means your vehicle is more likely to tip over. Is there a requirement to show a vehicle's logbook to an officer requesting to look at it? Yes, there is a requirement for that. Before putting tire chains on your vehicle, you should check to be sure that the chains have no broken hooks, crosslinks, bent or broken side chains. How do you test hydraulic brakes for their stopping action? Go about 5 miles per hour and then push the brake pedal firmly. When using your turn signals, what's a good practice to follow? If you don't have self-canceling turn signals, don't forget to turn them off after using them. When traction is poor because of rain or snow, how would you increase your vehicle's speed? Very gradually. Where do you place the 3 reflector triangles on a divided highway? Place them all to the rear, at 10 feet, at 100 feet, and at 200 feet. How often should you inspect your cargo? After every break during the trip. When driving over 40 miles per hour, how much space should you keep in front of you? At least 1 second for 10 feet of your vehicle length, plus 1 second. What is a vehicle condition report? A list of problems found by you. When using your turn signal indicators, you should signal early and signal continuously. Before starting down a hill, to be sure that you are in the proper gear, you should downshift before starting down the hill. How does tire pressure affect hydroplaning? Hydroplaning is more likely to occur when tire pressure is low. When should you help out other drivers by signaling that it's safe to pass? Never. You should never signal to let other drivers know it's safe to pass. What's probably your best driving speed? Traffic is moving at 35 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone. 35 miles per hour is probably your best driving speed. Turned on brake retarders apply their power when you let up all the way on the accelerator pedal. What's the minimum number of tie downs you should have? You should have at least 2 tie downs. Should you turn off the retarder when the road is wet or snow covered? Yes, the retarder could cause a skid. Before driving, what should you do if you start to feel drowsy? Get some sleep. To make a tight turn with a large vehicle, you may have to drive slower than many automobile drivers might expect. With a pressurized cooling system, you should not remove the radiator cap until the system has cooled. What's the danger when traveling alongside other vehicles? You may be trapped in your lane when you need to change lanes. How far ahead should you look while driving? You should look 12 to 15 seconds ahead. If you're turning left, which lane should you use of the 2 left turn lanes? Of the 2 left turn lanes, use the one on the right or the outside lane. What can happen if you don't have enough weight on the steering axle? The vehicle can be more difficult to steer. In turning your vehicle, you should look in your mirrors to make sure that the rear of your trailer will not hit anything. As a commercial driver, regarding your cargo, what are you responsible for? You're responsible for inspecting your cargo and for knowing that it's securely tied down or covered. If the cargo contains hazardous materials, you must check to see if placards are required. What's a problem with mirrors? There are blind spots that your mirrors can't show you. What's the minimum amount of tread depth that your tires should have? 4/32 of an inch on the front wheels and 2/32 of an inch on all other wheels. A pre-trip inspection should be performed before each trip. When driving downhill in a vehicle equipped with an automatic transmission, you should select a low range for greater engine braking. What are some things to do if you're being tailgated? Avoid quick changes of speed or direction. To be sure you know what's happening on the highway in front of you, don't focus too long on the mirrors. Exhaust system parts shouldn't touch or rub against fuel system parts, tires, or other moving parts of the vehicle.